You are listening to KC Sports Network, the #1 podcast network for today's Kansas City sports fans. With former players from your favorite teams, informed perspectives, and former insiders, this is the place for you. KC Sports Network is proudly presented by Emprise Bank, your partner in possible.
What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of No Other Pod. I'm Jimmy, as always, with my good buddy Dan. Dan, what's going on, my Zeusy hair friend?
Look at you. Look at me. Look at our background. Look at our border right now. This is production 101, man. This is good stuff.
We got a producer now who can make us an actual video version of our podcast. If you're watching this on YouTube, there is a No Other Pod border. We got the KCSN logo.
My God, we got to wash our face now because we're like on the thing. So make sure you smile and,
I did have to look behind me. I was like, okay, what sort of spare stuff do I have sitting on my couch that I want to make sure nobody sees?
Right. Hide the sex swing. Got to get it out of there. I get it. Oh, you don't have that? That's a way you store it on the winter. I get it.
I do have to figure out what my my background's going to be because I got to step my game up now that I got my scarf walls in the other room.
Absolutely, dude.
I might have to transfer it back here. We'll see.
It's pretty bad when you look at mine and you're like, well, this guy's not even trying, right? Like, look at this guy with the scarf. He's even got freaking Darth Maul over here being scary. And then 20 pairs of Jordans just sitting here. And why do you look like you're Susie Homemaker over here?
Well, like I said, my scarf wall's in my other room where my TV is, and I do have a coworker though who he was like, "Hey, I got a Sporting KC flag. Do you at home? You want it?" And so I'm like, "Sure, yeah, bring it in." And he brings me in this flag that's got Sporting KC along the top. The bottom half is red and says Budweiser way across it, and this damn flag is 6 feet across.
Hold on.
It's not a normal size flag. It's the world's most giant flag. If I put it behind me, my entire background would just be a Sporting Budweiser flag. And I'm like, what am I going to do with this?
He's like, here, you can hang this in your RV dealership.
I was like, what am I going to? He was like, when you asked if I wanted a sporting flag, I'm assuming I got a normal size flag and it's got the sporting crest or whatnot. This dude brings me, which I appreciate the offer. Yeah, but he brings me this giant hat. He was like, yeah, my wife wouldn't let me hang it anymore. And I was like, I wonder why.
Because it took up the whole guest room. That's great. Dude, if you could just wear it as like a shawl for these episodes. A cape. Dude. You're freaking Captain Sporting over here.
He did give me this was really cool. It was unprompted. It's like a wooden sporting crest that's like pretty big. Like it's bigger than a dinner plate. So got to figure out where to put that.
I like that.
Just sitting in my office.
I see you got a little shelf back there, and their little ledge that things can go on, like your karate trophies from when you were a kid. And
there is a ledge back there. I got to figure out what I'm going to do with it. The space is just short, like just too short, really, to do scarves the way I want it to.
Right.
But I'll figure it out.
Just fold them and stack them up.
I'll do something.
Get
all my bobbleheads along the ledge there, and they'll just be sitting there looking at me while I record.
Absolutely.
Until my cats come knock them down one by one.
Just bobbing the shit out of Beasler. Get out of here, Bees.
Yeah, exactly.
We might have new listeners this time around, dude, and they're like, do these guys, like, what are they talking about? Well, and it's like, we don't know. We're just having a good time.
Welcome to and I forgot, I'm doing this right now live. I forgot to check to see if we got any new ratings or reviews. So I'm going to check that real quick.
We will next week for sure.
If you have not yet left us a 5-star rating or review, we would appreciate it. We don't have any new reviews, but we got a few more ratings on here. So go on Apple Podcasts, go on Spotify, leave us that 5-star rating or review. We read them all on air.
Guys, this is it. This is it. We're part of KCSN now, and very happy to be here and excited to bring the same old show every week, man. This is awesome. You're looking as gorgeous as ever, and we're just ready to roll. You like my shirt?
You got that France kit.
You like my French cock right there?
Well, that's not how I would
tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong.
Scientifically, it's correct.
Scientifically, it's what it is.
It's I have mine upstairs. I actually, you know what? It would have been awkward because I almost put mine on right before. We have the exact same shirt, and we would have shown up, and we would not have planned it.
No, it wouldn't have been awkward. I absolutely expected you to have it. So I was just like, this is gonna be great.
Traffic hit some traffic on the way home. It's a little bit later than normal, right. But I got France. Maybe if Croatia pulls out a win, I got to pull out my Croatia kit. So
there you go.
We'll see.
You go.
We'll see.
It's exciting times, dude.
we'll talk about World Cup stuff. We'll talk about the U.S. Men's national team draw against Wales. We got this big game coming up against England that he'll probably play, but I don't know if you saw the reports. Harry Kane took a knock to his ankle in the game. He's getting some scans on Wednesday. We'll see.
Cool.
But,
Bye. Won't miss you. Bye, Harry.
I mean, I'm going to be honest. I don't think not having Harry Kane will hurt England too much against the U.S. Men's national team.
But do you ever feel like you're a bad person in the sense that you're like, I don't want this person to be like seriously hurt, but if they could just be hurt for like 48 hours, that'd be cool.
So I was actually having this exact conversation. It's interesting you bring this up. I was having this exact conversation with my cousin the other day because I think I used to, you never wish injury on somebody.
Yeah.
But when like somebody who's a really good player on the team that you're playing, they get injured, for a while, there was a part of me that's like, oh, we might have a chance now. Like you're secretly kind of happy. The older I get, I think I'd rather beat a team at their highest level. Like I think I'd rather just like if now England, if we beat England and they don't have Harry Kane, they got enough good players. I'm still gonna be like, oh,
so you're a good person and I'm a scumbag.
No, it's not that. But like, for example, I'm a big USC football fan. People who've been listening, they know that. USC was playing UCLA. UCLA's quarterback is really good. He got hurt partway through. He like hit his throwing hand on the a defensive lineman's helmet. And I was like, if he comes out of the game, we're probably going to win. But if he comes out of the game and suddenly we take off and they're inept because their quarterback goes out, like, I don't know that that's going to feel great to me. I'm going to be like, oh, I'm glad we won, but like, we didn't beat them at their best. He stayed in the game and we beat them. And that feels a lot better to me right now.
That's cool. But I'm here for championships, bro. I'm here, take them out, take the legs out. Maybe they got back spasms for a week and can't play. You know what I'm saying? Like, is that make me a bad person?
No,
I'm so sorry.
I think that's what a lot of sports fans are. And look, honestly, I'd rather win than lose. So if the choice is lose against their best or, win when they're subpar, I mean, sure.
Yeah.
But I'd rather beat them at their best.
Right.
We'll see.
You know what we need to invest in, by the way? Do we need to get like ring lights?
Yeah, absolutely. We do.
Do you have one
like
right now?
TikToker. I don't. Watch this.
Oh, man.
You see me right now? My face.
Do you have a light above you?
Now it's suddenly a lot darker.
You have a light up there?
I got a light over here.
I have a light. I have a light up there. I was thinking like ring lights for all my TikToks, that I don't do, but something to think about. Something to think about.
No, I got a giant. Now people can see what my setup's like. I got a giant computer monitor behind me that I'm always looking at. So that's what's lighting me right now. It's very professional.
Very, very cool, man. Very cool.
Let's look. There is a little bit of sporting Kansas City news that I want to talk about before we get into World Cup stuff. There was the re-entry draft that happened this week. There was stage 1, and then a few days later, stage 2.
That sounds so serious, bro. That sounds like American Ninja Warrior.
The re-entry draft.
You ever watch that shit? Stage 1, stage 2. That is American Ninja Warrior.
Yeah, it's been a while since I used to have a dream. I don't know if it's a dream. Dream feels a little strong. I used to really want to go on the show Wipeout, which isn't obviously Ninja Warrior levels, but it's like I'd watch that show and I'd be like, I can do better than these people.
Like, it's not about doing better. I'm not even to wipe out.
I'm like the lowest level of athletic there can be, but like I'm coordinated enough where I'm like I can get past this initial obstacle course. I can do it. I can qualify.
Did you do the
hit and run 5K?
Oh, you did the hit and run.
I did hit and run way back when.
I did that, and
I did decent.
And the wipeout.
I was fine.
Yeah, it's about wiping out, man. You're gonna wipe out. Just try not to hurt yourself.
But yeah, stage 1, stage 2 of the MLS reentry draft. Sporting Kansas City was not active in stage 1 of the MLS reentry draft. But the Sporting fans might have seen a little bit of interesting news that came out of stage 2 of the reentry draft. Sporting Kansas City selected Nicholas Isimat Marine.
He's back, baby.
Well, hold your horses.
All right, holding them.
Hold those horses. They selected him, which I think a lot of people at first like, what the heck? Like, we just decided we're not going to re-sign him.
Your mind.
Pick up the option. But basically all this means, and if you look at sportingkc.com, if you look at the story they put up, it says Sporting KC holds rights of first refusal on defender Nicholas Isimat Marine.
Mm-hmm.
So basically what that tells me, I'm reading some tea leaves here. Essentially Sporting Kansas City will they'll get compensated if another team decides they want to sign Nicholas East-Metmarine. And there was some reporting in the last couple of weeks that there were other MLS clubs interested in Nicholas East-Metmarine. Now, what's interesting is by taking a player in stage 2 of the MLS reentry draft, a club is required within the first 7 days of the stage 2 of reentry draft to make what's called a genuine offer.
Now, bona fide offer.
Right.
Got to happen.
So they will be required to do that, but that's not going to be by rule anywhere near the amount of salary that he made last year. And they did this almost certainly knowing that he will not accept what that bona fide offer will be.
Right.
So
$80,000.
If you look on MLSsoccer.com, they explain the stage 2 reentry draft, and it says, if a player is selected, the drafting club will be required to make a genuine offer to the player within 7 days. If an agreement cannot be reached between the drafting club and the player, the drafting club will hold the right of first refusal for that player in MLS. So by Sporting KC putting out as their headline, Sporting KC holds right of first refusal for defender Nicholas East-Metmarine, they're skipping right on past the bona fide offer part.
They didn't say, we've selected East, we've selected him and we're going to offer him some money. Like, come on. This is a game. It's a game.
It's 4D chess.
I don't know what that means.
Well, it's like, 3D chess is like chess in real life. We live in 3D. 4D chess is like there's a whole other dimension you can't see that, Peter Vermees is playing Shrek.
What that
You've
means.
Never heard this phrase?
Have you ever been to Shrek 4D at Universal Studios? That's 4D, baby. You get water sprayed on you. You get like flames and stuff. It's a real thing.
I've never been to Universal in Florida. So.
Well, that's silly of you. That's very silly.
I have.
But you've been to other 4D things like A Bug's Life.
A long time ago. I don't like it because the little thing comes out of the chair and it pokes you.
Goddamn right. You're goddamn right, dude. That hopper, he goes, Hornets attack, and the stinger stings you in the back. And everyone's like, it wasn't even that bad. And I was like, well, my chair is the bad one. I got a bad chair.
Small children screaming.
Yeah, it got me really good. And then whenever I went again and the grasshopper came out, I'm like leaning forward like this. I was like, I know it's coming. I know it's coming.
You're prepared.
That's 4D.
Peter Vermees, I think he's looking at this. He goes, where can I get a little advantage here, a little advantage there? And he must have some indication that some team is interested in Nicholas East-Metmarine. Now, you might say, why wouldn't a team then just select Nicholas East-Metmarine in the reentry draft?
Time to be real, Jimmy.
Who knows? I deleted this app. I can't, man. It's too much.
It's because you don't like to stay youthful. It's a youthful thing.
It's too much. I'm just an old
How
man.
would this ever happen during recording? It always happens when I'm like watching TV under a blanket, and I'm like, people think I do nothing but sit on the freaking couch all day.
Mm-hmm. Well, there you go. Now you've documented that we're doing a podcast.
Hell yeah.
But anyway, Peter Vermees must know that there's a decent probability that somebody's going to sign Nicholas East-Metmarine. Now, we're not going to get hundreds of thousands of dollars from it, but hey, even if someone's like, Sporting KC gets $50,000 in allocation money, that's $50,000 they didn't have before. So it's a low risk move by Sporting Kansas City. So it's it's just Peter Vermees trying to get any advantage he can, which I think I appreciate about him.
He's crafty, right? He's real crafty, and I think man, we got a little KCSN clout behind us now, and he's gonna be like, "What? You guys are part of KCSN? Of course, I'll come on your podcast now." I didn't want to before because you guys were a couple of schlubs. But now,
to be fair, we've never asked him. We've been building to that.
Well, you don't have to ask when you're a big deal. Like he's like, oh shit,
Okay.
Should I be interested in this?
Probably. He'll probably come to us. That's true.
Absolutely.
That's the biggest sporting news. There really wasn't any other big sporting news. Now, on Tuesday in the early afternoon, there was some pretty seismic MLS news before we get into the World Cup. Did you see? It's not a roster update, but
what's the big deal?
This might be the move of the offseason. Atlanta United has appointed Garth Lagerwey as president and CEO of Atlanta United FC.
I know. You texted me. I stormed over it, and we kept talking about other things. I don't get why I should care about this. Break it down for me.
Garth Lagerwey is the architect of the modern Seattle Sounders FC. He took over essentially all roster building duties as the GM for Seattle Sounders FC in 2015. He brought Nicolas Ladero to the Seattle Sounders. What have Seattle Sounders gone on to do since he became the architect behind the Seattle Sounders? They've won MLS's first CONCACAF Champions League, and they've won 2 MLS Cups.
Stop calling him the architect. That sounds like such a cool nickname, and I wish I had it.
I'm just saying, considering how bad Atlanta United has been at making roster decisions since their initial influx of expansion team allocation money, they had Miguel Almiron, they had Joseph Martinez, they had Tata Martino. That set them up, and then they squandered it all away with Ezequiel Barco, PT Martinez, Frank de Boer, Pineda. Like there is Atlanta United is not what Atlanta United was 4 or 5 years ago. They're going out now and getting a proven MLS executive who can build winning teams. He knows the league. He knows the player profile to look for. And they have the brand recognition of Atlanta United that hasn't gone away yet. So this is probably the single best move Atlanta United could have done in the offseason, I think. And it scares me because I don't want like Garth's MLS knowledge and roster building capabilities combined with Atlanta. And they could be like, yeah, we brought Miguel Almiron over here, and then we sold him to Newcastle, and now he's over in Europe, in England, just, doing pretty well. This is the pathway through Atlanta to get to Europe. So
okay, so we're scared of Atlanta again. We still don't like them.
I will never like Atlanta. I'm just saying this sets them up for success in a way that they were not set up for success yesterday. So I think this was a very shrewd move. I think it shakes up the landscape of MLS soccer, because how are Seattle Sounders going to respond?
Yeah, I want very hard to play devil's advocate here and tell you how much you're wrong, but like, you're not wrong. It's probably great for them.
They're not bringing Joseph Martinez back, so
yeah,
this is going to be the guy who finds the replacement.
And what, does he have a good pipeline of people to talk to or something? Or?
I mean, clearly he's got scouts. He's got knowledge. He knows what he's looking for. He had some success with RSL even before he went to Seattle Sounders. He was the general manager and SVP of soccer operations for RSL when they won their MLS Cup in 2009 and when they appeared against Sporting Kansas City in 2013. So, I mean, that's two different places he's been where he's built MLS Cup winning teams.
There's no guarantee we even play Atlanta once a year. Like, there's no guarantee that we play them once a year, right? Have we even played Miami yet? We've yet to.
Yeah, we've played Miami.
Just the one time, though,
I think one time. Years in a regular year, I think. I'd have to go back. Scheduling's been wonky ever since the pandemic. Before all this
adding teams, though,
you played generally Eastern Conference teams once, but you can't do that anymore. Mathematically, it doesn't work out. So
it doesn't. So we're not guaranteed to play Atlanta at all.
No, but I mean, they might build themselves into a serious contender every single year if things break right for them. But more specifically for Sporting, I'm curious how this impacts Seattle. Seattle might just reload and rebuild or whatnot, but they were always decent before they got Garth in, but they couldn't break through to MLS Cup level.
Because he was with Seattle currently, and they poached him.
They just stole him away. And I have a lot of friends that are Seattle fans.
Yeah,
a lot of friends that are connected within the Seattle Sounders club. Not a single person I've talked to had any indication that this was coming. They were all 100% shocked.
Well, come on, man. They got what's Seattle got keeping them there? Cold winters and friggin' rainy times and coffee.
It can get colder in Atlanta than it can in Seattle. When it snows in Atlanta, the whole city shuts down. They got like 2 snowplows.
Atlanta is not that far from like beaches when you think about it. Okay, there's freaking coast down there.
Yeah,
I guess Seattle's got coast.
I was
you
gonna
can go watch some whales and drink some coffee. But like, have you ever had do you like Southern food? Have you had boiled peanuts?
Man, Seattle's got delicious food. I would choose restaurants in Seattle over a lot of cities.
I'm vegan, so absolutely I would choose Seattle. But I'm talking. Have you had boiled peanuts, my friend?
I haven't. No.
Well, it's delicious. You should boil yourself some peanuts.
Okay, we'll work on that. That's the biggest MLS news. Not a lot of other sporting news right now.
Thanks for hanging out.
We don't have any other roster rumors or anything right now. I'm sure they'll come out soon. Sporting Kansas City will continue to build their roster now that they've gotten through some of these arbitrary drafts. There will be the free agent process that opens up. They'll be able to look at some of the free agents that are available. We'll see. I think there's definitely going to be maybe some interest in the free agent market for Sporting Kansas City, but they're going to be looking probably like they've done before outside of MLS. They're going to be looking to find people who, for no or low fees, I don't think we're going to spring for like a $9 or $10 million player like we did for Alan Polito, even though we can buy down a designated player. Radoya or Gadi Kinda could end up still being on one of those DP tags. So we'll see. But I mean, Felipe Gutierrez, when he first came in, I don't think he was a DP. I think he was a TAM level player at first. So, and he was out of contract, and he was a fantastic player when he was healthy for Sporting Kansas City. So
yeah, true.
There's plenty of options for them to be able to go out there and find somebody who's out of contract or what, and come in that can be a real key contributor on a free transfer. So yeah. We'll see. But let's talk a little bit about World Cup. Okay. Obviously, it's the biggest sporting event in the world. There's some understandable controversy around this World Cup. We got Grant Wall out there tweeting that he's being held up, and I'm glad that he got let go. I'm not quite sure what he expected, but
I feel like that was a lot of let's see if we can go viral here. I don't know. That felt weird.
Could be. He's done that twice now. He's like, I took a picture and they told me to delete it. And he's like, and I wore this and maybe he's just trying to poke the bear intentionally, which you know what? More power to you, Grant. If that's what you're trying to do, if you're trying to make a statement, then hey, you're a better person than I am. I'd be too scared to go over to a known dictatorship and intentionally poke the bear over and over and over again.
Right. Have we learned nothing? I mean, Brittany Griner had some drugs and is now absolutely not coming home.
A sheesh oil. That's a different situation too, with all the political stuff going on.
Sure,
but I mean, it's
a bad deal. Everyone, like
the migrant workers and the treatment of LGBTQ plus people and the conditions, everything. It's not great right now. But I am trying to do my best to enjoy watching the U.S. men's national team in the World Cup and enjoy some of these other games. I think you can hold two thoughts in your head at the same time. You can say, this is not great, and there are things about this that we don't support, while at the same time being excited to watch the U.S. men's national team for the first time in 8 years, especially a young U.S. men's national team, like we talked about last week.
There's conversations you can have, right? Like you can have all the conversations. You can boycott it if you want. That's within your right. The players are going to get paid regardless. They make a pretty good living. But at the same time, it is exciting to see your country in it, even if we might not be in it much longer.
Well, so that was going to be my thought. It's okay. So we talked a little bit about what to expect against this Welsh team last week.
Yeah.
How I wasn't confident. I'm going to be honest. I was not very confident going into this game against the Wales team. Part of that might be I've been hurt too many times by U.S. men's national team soccer. Part of it is I don't have a lot of faith in Greg Berhalter to do the right thing, and there's a little bit of storyline coming out of this game about that. But how are you feeling going into this game against Wales?
I mean, I didn't expect Gareth Bale to play like the whole game. That was kind of wild. I think I mentioned that before, and I was like, the man barely played in MLS. Just came in, did some cool technical shit.
Scored game-tying goals.
Scores game-tying goals, and a little walk-off home run for him, But, 1-0 lead, and you foul a guy in the box, 10 minutes left in the game. Like,
oh my God.
I don't know how you do that if you're a two-time defender of the year and Walker Zimmerman. We praise him. We praise that man in being a great defender, and that was just stupid.
One of the tough things for me is there was one MLS player in this starting lineup. It was Walker Zimmerman.
Yeah.
And so you and I love MLS. We know that MLS is generally, I think, it's not a top league in the world, but I think it's better. I think it's better quality than like the Euro snobs, if you will, give it credit for. There's a lot of people. It's like, oh, MLS. It's not the retirement league it was 10 years ago.
Better than it was 10 years ago. Yeah.
Exactly. It's getting better. There's quality players that come through. I mean, hell, Weston McKennie came through the FC Dallas system. Tyler Adams came from New York Red Bulls. There are a number of players who came through. Matt Turner came from the New England Revolution. Then you look at players like Alphonso Davies, Kyle Larin. There are key players in this World Cup who came through MLS and are now key contributors over on European teams. I think it was a bit of a bummer that the lone MLS starter is the one who made an absolutely disastrous tackle in the box to give up the penalty kick.
Also, you can't get 2 yellow cards in 10 minutes, the first 10 minutes of the game.
Well, okay.
That was crazy.
Some of the officiating, I was like, we got to chill out here.
It was pretty bad, dude.
Remember when
how about when he stopped it for injuries and it wasn't a head injury, and then he knew that he stopped it for Wales, so he has to stop it for USA,
Nope.
and then no, he did. He stopped it for both teams, and then he
Until
wiped
Christian
it.
Pulisic was
Yeah.
freaking lying on the ground dead, and the guy's like, "No, play on, play
It's
on."
almost like he did a 1-for-1, and he's like, cool, they canceled each other out. I can go back to stopping it just for head injuries. And this guy is not a bad referee, man. They even said on the broadcast he's refereed some crucial freaking games.
Yeah.
But it was kind of bad. It was not very good.
I think whether fair or unfair, there will be questions throughout the entirety of this tournament about the legitimacy of some of the decisions that are made. And it started from the moment the World Cup kicked off,
Yeah.
when Qatar was playing Ecuador, and Ecuador gets a goal like 5 minutes in, and then suddenly, hold on, there's a VAR review. And I was really pissed at first because the TV broadcasting crew did not do a good job of explaining what was happening. And they brought in goalkeeping expert Dr. Joe Manchik, and he gets on there and he's fumbling his words. He can't explain what's going on because I thought they kept saying that Enner Valencia for Ecuador was offside because the angle they kept showing on the screen, he's in an offside position, but he's 25 yards away from where the action is. And I'm like, how can you say he's involved in the play? VAR overturns it. Suddenly, a goal against Ecuador is wiped off the board. There were maybe some unsubstantiated rumors that the Qatar was bribing Ecuador to lose the game. Suddenly, you're like, okay, hold on, what is happening here? So I think there's just and the official in the U.S. Wales game was from Qatar. I don't know why they would be specifically targeting the U.S. men's national team because I don't think we're exactly a big threat. We're not in their group. But you see those questions pop up when there's questionable referee decision making happening, and so I think that'll be consistent throughout this tournament. Is this on the up and up, or is this not? I don't know.
I hear you. You're still saying Qatar. Is that what we're saying? Is it Qatar?
I think it goes both ways. It's Qatar or Qatar. I was actually reading about this today.
Wow. But if you go both ways, don't you dare travel to Qatar because you will be imprisoned.
Yeah, don't do that. Native English speakers can't actually say the name of the country as it's pronounced in Arabic.
Yeah.
So
I usually go off of what the broadcaster says. Like whenever Nate Bukaty announces names of sporting players, I'm like, that's it. I'm sure he did his research. We'll just say he did.
I read today that a Qatari government official said either one, honestly, Qatar.
Wow. Look at that. Pick your flavor.
The first half for the U.S. men's national team, I actually thought they looked really good and were, without question, the dominant side. I was impressed.
Your guy, Tim Weah.
The lineup that they put out, I thought it was interesting that Josh Sargent started up front.
STL.
I expected, I don't know why, but I think I just expected that Jesus Ferreira was going to be the starting striker in between Weah and Pulisic. So I was a little bit surprised to see Josh Sargent there. Now, if you look at some of the passing charts, nobody really passed the ball to Josh Sargent. Josh Sargent, I turned into Sean Connery there for a second.
Is he from? He's from St. Louis, right? I'm not making that up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but man, that Weah goal, that was some nasty stuff. Like that gave a glimpse, I think, right there, of when things fire on all cylinders for this U.S. men's national team, what they could be.
Yeah. And I got to thinking during this game, I was like, we're mad that we haven't been in a World Cup for 8 years. Well, I hate to break it to you. It's been about 70 years for Wales. Sure. So we can't be so privileged all the time. Why Americans got to be so privileged?
Well, we're used to at least making the World Cup. What's wild, though, is like this is the youngest squad we've had in a long time. You got Yunus Musa out there starting. He's 19 years old. He was 11 when we were in Brazil. 11. Yeah.
Hey, and now Greg Berhalter's young too, if you're thinking about young coach. And so this draw can't be all on these young players. Berhalter doesn't know what he's doing unless it's putting on good shoes.
His shoes were fire.
He's got fire shoes. Yeah, those are about $225. We know. I tried to buy them. They were sold out.
You got the big old no from the sneakers app?
You got the big old no. That's all right.
But no, the Pulisic got the assist. That was probably the best Pulisic looked all game, I thought. There were some times where I was like, he's trying to do too much.
They whooped his ass, though. Like, they were stepping on him, pushing him, slapping him. Gareth Bale, like, tugged on his jersey, so he tugged on Gareth Bale's jersey right back. And I was just like, this is going to happen the whole group stage. Like, if we don't figure something out that's apart from Christian Pulisic, we're not going anywhere, because they're going to target on that guy the whole time.
That's kind of been the problem for me that concerns me about this U.S. men's national team as currently constructed, and the style of play that Greg wants to play. It's a very technical, fast-paced style. I mean, people liken it to the Pep Guardiola system, as opposed to sort of the sit back, defend, counter style that the U.S. has done before. We don't have like that consistent quality striker who can finish.
Remind you of anybody? Sporting KC podcast? Seriously, we talked about it all last year. Who do we got? Who do we got? They keep shutting down our wingers because we don't have a striker.
Mm-hmm. I mean, there's some similarities there.
Yeah.
And Weah looked really good. Pulisic, like I said, he was trying to do too much for me. He'd pass up through balls, some easy passes that could lead to something else, trying to either hold on and do something crazy himself or make a more difficult pass, and it didn't work out most of the time. I thought they still looked like the better side for the first half. I was pretty confident going into halftime, but then Berhalter couldn't make any adjustments, and Wales did. And Wales came out, and they were on the front foot, attacking, and the U.S. men's national team really started to buckle under the pressure. And then sure enough, 82nd minute, Gareth Bale gets the ball in the box. He's got his back to goal. He's not in a position where he can shoot. He's got his back to goal. He's probably going to lay it off. And Zimmerman just comes in from behind him and just lays him the hell out in a very easy penalty decision.
Gets the ball, but not before going through his calves.
Well, and even if he would have got the ball first, he took him out so hard. It was a clear as day penalty.
Yeah.
Not a question in my mind.
I don't know how that happens. I don't know how you decide that's a great idea. You're up 1-0, like, seal this out. You know what I mean?
And then Gareth Bale, of course, steps up to the penalty spot.
Yeah.
And Matt Turner, he almost got this.
Gets a little
guessed right. He got it. It might have even been a little more than a tippy tip. He got a lot of his hand on it. That thing was just a damn rocket that came off of Gareth Bale's rocket launcher right leg.
He felt that he should have got that. Like, you could just see it in his face. Like, I should have got that.
I don't know if I've seen many penalty kicks that were kicked harder than what Gareth Bale did on that penalty kick.
Yeah, that was that would have hurt. That would have hurt the palm. I tell you, it hurt the gloves.
I'm surprised that thing didn't go through the back of the net, quite honestly.
FIFA Street style. You ever play that shit?
I played NFL Street way back when.
You never played FIFA Street? Same deal.
I never played FIFA, like the Voltaire or whatever. Not Voltaire.
No,
Volta football.
Before that, man, it was called FIFA Street, same as NFL Street. You gotta look this up. It should just be on Game Pass or something. I'm telling you.
Okay. 82nd minute, 1-1. And in my mind, I'm still thinking like, okay, we got time. You know, they've been doing a lot of stoppage time in this World Cup. I think there was like 24 minutes of stoppage in England and Iran between the two halves.
Yeah. Like the first half was like 14 minutes.
Right.
It was insane. I thought he blew the whistle for halftime. I was like, cool, I'm going to shower. I'm getting ready. I'm like brushing my locks out and everything like that. And I go to like take my clothes off. I'm like, is game still on?
They're still going.
What's happening?
And again, there was 9 minutes of stoppage at the end of the U.S. men's national team and Wales game. And when someone asked me leading up to, they're like, how many minutes of stoppage time do you think? I was like, I don't know, like 4 maybe. And then 9.
Definitely another half of soccer.
Well, and there's a part of me that's like, okay, 9 minutes, we can go out and get a winner. They got, what's his face, Andrews on Wales. Was it Andrews? I don't remember who it was. No, Wilson. Maybe it was Wilson. One of them, it was the same guy. He kept limping and falling down, and wasting like a minute at a time every time he did. They added that time on a little bit at the end, so it ended up being like 10 or 11 minutes of stoppage time in the second half. But Wales almost pulled this thing off. Yeah. Matt Turner came way the hell out of his net to clear a ball, but he cleared it right to none other than Gareth Bale. And this dude was lining up to chip the hell out of Matt Turner from distance.
I was yelling. I said, foul him, foul him.
He probably would have done it too. And thankfully, Kellen Acosta, in arguably the best foul of his entire career or of his life that he will ever make, yanks Gareth Bale down at the last second to keep.
Yep.
Tim Ream was right there too, and Tim Ream was about to give up a chance at playing in England and get a red card if he had to, because he was already on a yellow. He was not about to let Gareth Bale chip Matt Turner from 50 yards out.
Worth the yellow card, 100%. And I was kind of critical of Kellen Acosta for a while. I think I even yelled something on the TV. I was like, "That's why you play for Colorado." Like I was.
He's on LAFC now.
Is he on LAFC now?
He's on MLS Cup.
I said that's why you played for Colorado.
Okay.
Like I didn't know where he was now, but I know playing for Colorado is not exactly something you put on your resume.
Yeah, they were pretty good when he was there, but
well, whatever. Let me put him down.
You just like fighting with Colorado players.
I like fighting with everyone. Like if you stay hot, you don't got to get hot.
Speaking
Come
of
on, Jim.
Your boy Eric Dick got re-signed by Minnesota United.
I didn't even know. Was that where he is now?
He was there, and he's still there, and we still don't know why he blocked you on Twitter.
We don't, Eric, man. We could have been friends,
such
bro.
A wonderful interview with him, and next thing you know, you blocked on Twitter.
Maybe I shared something that was against his ethical, political beliefs or something. Who knows?
Who knows? Yeah, but if you did, then I definitely did, and he didn't block me.
Yeah, but I say some questionable shit.
That's true. That's true. Game ends 1-1. Do you feel like? I feel like we dropped points.
You texted me and said we ain't getting out of this group stage, and I just said no.
Yeah, that is my feeling. We got no room for error now. We're not gonna
no room for error.
This might be pessimist Jimmy. He's been gone for a while, but he's making an appearance again.
Here he is.
We're not gonna beat England.
Can we draw England? Should we draw England and then just beat Iran? Iran? I'm gonna say Iran. That sounds better.
Technically,
beat them by more goals than Wales beats them.
That's if we lose by 2 or fewer goals to England, I will consider it a success. After what England just did to Iran, 6-2, because if we beat Iran, Wales is almost certainly going to beat Iran. Then it comes down to goal differential, and this is assuming we both lose to England. And so who's going to beat Iran more, and who's going to get their ass kicked by England less? So that's really what it's going to come down to.
Play a defensive game against England and just put all the goal scorers out there for Iran.
I mean, if we try to stretch the field and play a wide open game with England, it's not going to work for us.
It's wild, man. You got so many Premier League players on that England team just running and spreading the ball wide and just making great passes. It was insane to watch them against Iran. They were just having fun.
They were playing against traffic cones out there.
Yeah.
And Iran's team is supposed to have a pretty decent defense.
Yeah, I mean, not then.
No,
maybe they will against us, probably.
Well, we don't have Raheem Sterling out there.
Well, and what about Gio Reyna? Everyone's mad that he didn't come in and play.
I'm glad.
Isn't he the next American hope?
I'm glad that you brought this up.
He's 100%. So he says.
Because Jordan Morris came on the field.
Yes, great Jordan Morris, the great.
Jordan. I like Jordan Morris.
Of course you like Jordan Morris.
But what does that mean?
I don't really know. I don't
know. But I think he's fine. But if Gio Reyna,
you're like, should I be offended? What do you mean?
I don't know. Gio Reyna or Jordan Morris, it's not much of a question. So granted, even if Gio Reyna came on the 87th minute, there's no guarantee he would have done anything different. But
he's fast.
When Berhalter was asked after the game, why'd you go to Jordan Morris, who hasn't played in a while because MLS Seattle they haven't played any games in a while. They didn't make the playoffs.
True.
And Gio Reyna's out there doing pretty well for a major club in Borussia Dortmund. So what's going on? And Berhalter after the game said, quote, "It was trying to get him up to speed. There was some tightness that we were guarding against." So that's interesting. And then Gio Reyna after the game said, "No, I feel great. I feel really good. I feel ready to go. I felt good. I felt ready to go, but it was just Craig's decision. He doesn't have to tell me why he didn't put me in or why he does, but I'm 100%. I'm good to go."
So I don't.
Who's telling the truth?
Gio Reyna, I assume, is telling the truth. I mean, Greg Berhalter. I mean, it's your first rodeo here, bro. You're trying to make a splash and do big things, but when you brought in Jordan Morris, we all went, ugh. Like we all groaned, all of us.
Yeah, I mean,
except for you. because you love him.
No, I mean, I just was like, I wanted subs to be made a little earlier. I mean, he brought in Brendan Aronson, and he's a high energy guy, but he didn't do a whole lot. So it's just,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have a lot of confidence in Berhalter's ability to adjust tactically or to
Yeah.
do what we need to do to be able to stack up against a club like England. So
I don't know, man.
I don't think we've played England since 2018. And last time we played them, we lost 3-0. Obviously, it's a different team from then. But England, man, against Iran, 6 goals. That's quite a bit. They had Grealish scoring, Marcus Rashford scoring, Saka scored twice, Raheem Sterling, Jude Bellingham. Like these, Harry Kane didn't even score, and then they got Mason Mount, Harry Kane. Like this is a wild team.
Harry Kane is a goal scorer, and when he doesn't score, and six other goals happen, it's like, oh dear God, like he does not need to even touch the ball. Apparently, okay.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens. I mean,
oh God,
if he doesn't play, it'll maybe make it a little easier. But then, okay, next man up. They'll still be fine.
They will be fine. It is time. We got to stop the bleeding a little bit. It's scary, but also this World Cup is weird, right? For one, we're literally talking about it in November. Like this is crazy to me. I'm like, we should be talking about it in the summer. I don't hate it because normally I wouldn't be watching any kind of meaningful soccer around this time, except for the, occasional Premier League or Champions League,
Sure. Your beloved Manchester United, who today just terminated the contract of Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah, they said it was a mutual consent, and I saw a rib online that said, "Wow, so Ronaldo does know something about consent."
Well, so that, I mean, there were some people like, oh, is he going to come to an MLS team? Which one? I don't think his ego would let him come to an MLS team right now. But also, too, legally, he sets foot in the United States, he's going to be brought in for questioning regarding
you sure?
Sexual assault allegations. I don't think that they're able to really pursue it as long as he doesn't come back into the States.
I thought it was dropped, I guess, completely. So I thought he was free to roam about the country.
I mean, there's a higher chance of him having legal complications if he were to come back here.
Whether it's go to Miami, if anything,
even if it's not criminal, it could be civil. So, I think he'll sign with an Italian team or a Spanish team. I don't see him coming to MLS right now. If he thinks that he should be starting for Manchester United, why would he come play for FC Dallas?
No, he would never play for FC Dallas. Yeehaw, motherfucker! He's not playing for FC
Miami.
Dallas.
Still, I'm just like, he's not gonna go. He's not gonna be like, oh, I'm better than Eric Ten Hag. I know more. I should be the face of Manchester United. Now let me go play for Inter Miami.
Yeah, and Beckham would be like, oi, come on, mate. I'll put you in the starting lineup right away.
That's wonderful, Beckham.
It's not bad. I watched the docuseries on Disney Plus, and he was the primary lead there. Have you heard about this? It's pretty good. 4 episodes.
So outside of the U.S. men's national team, which, as you can tell, I don't have a lot of hope. I think just limit the bleeding against England, and that's all we can do.
Just plug it. So, hey, was that racist to do that accent?
I don't. Probably
no, I mean, is it though? It's got to be insensitive, right? It's a little insensitive.
I mean, who knows?
It can't be good. I'm in trouble. Cut that.
Outside of the U.S. men's,
look at this guy. He gets like this.
Outside of the U.S. men's national team, who is the team? I mean, it's France, I guess, right? You got your France kit. France is your second team.
Look at that. Yeah, I mean, until my Belgium jersey gets in the mail today,
France looks pretty good. They don't have Benzema because he got injured. He's going to miss the entire World Cup, so it's not a great start when the Ballon d'Or winner misses the entire tournament.
Sorry, it's not a great start when Belgium had to remove the word love from the inside collar of their jerseys.
That too.
Just goes to show you, folks, that if you can't even hide your love, they're going to get you.
Denmark's trying to wear shirts that talk about how soccer's for everybody and whatnot, and they won't let it.
Can do.
They were denied by FIFA.
Captain's armbands. We're gonna say love. It's all done. No love.
Belgium's also missing Lukaku for a couple of games due to injury, but France, they played Australia. They went down 1-0 real fast, and you're like, oh, Socceroos,
game on.
Maybe, just maybe, And then France was
Socceroos.
like,
Is that
"Oh
what it
yeah,
is?
yeah, this is the
Oh, I love
Socceroos."
that. Like kangaroos. That's amazing.
That's you got it.
I'm learning stuff. Oh my god. Should I
Um,
do an accent? An Australian one?
no, let's
Oh, okay.
not do that accent.
All right.
Um,
Blimey.
but then France is like, "Hey, we're the defending World Cup champs. Maybe we should start acting like it." And then suddenly, 20 minutes later, Rabiot gets a goal. Olivier Giroud gets a goal 5 minutes after that. They go into the half. It's 2-1. And then in the second half, Kylian Mbappe gets on the score sheet after he wandoed a wide open goal that Tony Griezmann sent in on a perfect cross, and all Mbappe had to do is just literally tap it in, and he somehow sends it over the bar from 5 yards out.
What's this?
But
What's this like? You got games on at your office? You're like play by play in this thing. You guys all watching it?
I work in an office. I got a couple of monitors. I'm just saying.
Fair enough. Fair
Fire
enough.
up YouTube TV, and you can do a couple of things at once.
Cool. Very cool.
But then Giroud got the fourth goal. He had 2 goals. Mbappe got a goal and an assist. France
Do you
looks good,
see
man.
Giroud, by the way? That's a man's
Good
man.
looking dude.
You see that jawline? I mean, could we all hope for that? Yeah. If we fast for 48 hours, we can have that. It's a little rough.
It's hard to know.
Very hydrated.
Yeah. Well, hey, the hair looks good. The beard looks good. He's still playing for AC Milan out there. He maybe isn't what he once was, but he's still pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, he's not the most youthful person in the world, but he looks amazing. So I'm, man crush over here.
France won. Perhaps the news of the day from Tuesday is Argentina lost 1-2 to Saudi Arabia in one of the bigger upsets I think that's ever happened.
Got up at 5:40 yesterday,
that?
and I did not watch it, but I was getting ready for my workout, and I just saw kind of the score on my phone. I was like, oh boy, that's not good.
I feel bad for our boy Kevin, SKC Fan TV.
Yeah, but we all need a little drama in our life, a little hurt. We all need to feel things.
He did a stream of that game. He was doing a watch along.
Hold on, with who? Like people
whoever else was
people in England?
5 a.m. to watch Argentina.
4, bro.
4.
That game started at 4 a.m. Central.
Well, Kevin, he's a dedicated Argentinian.
Would you get up at 4 if the USA were playing at 4?
For World Cup, probably. Because I'm not gonna I'm gonna see the score otherwise, and I don't want to have it ruined.
I'm torn, right? Like that just seems that's crazy. Like I've stayed up till like midnight when KU basketball was in they were in like the college basketball Olympics or whatever, the one where they won the gold medal, and they played at like midnight, and I was like, this is wild. But I don't know if I could do something like that again. I'm not youthful.
Yeah. Well, you're an early riser and early go to bedder. I don't know what the right phrase is. Argentina lost to Saudi Arabia. Denmark and Tunisia 0-0 draw. Mexico and Poland 0-0 draw, but that shouldn't have been a 0-0 draw.
That was entertaining as hell.
Robert Lewandowski, the first time in his career, he missed a penalty kick.
Was it the
Polish
first?
national team? This is the first time in his career he's missed a penalty kick. And Ochoa, man, he shows up in the World Cup for Mexico. He guessed right. He punched. It wasn't a great kick from Lewandowski, but it was definitely, you had to guess correctly.
They showed Mexico. They showed Mexico City fans like celebrating after that, and they weren't all very excited. Like when we saw Power and Light, they were way more excited in Kansas City than they were in Mexico City.
I mean, they're probably nervous. They're like, we're just trying to get out of here. So that's probably advantageous for Argentina that both Mexico and Poland drew. So they're only 1 point behind them.
True,
but I don't know.
Because Poland's good, right?
Games.
Poland's a good team.
Poland and Mexico are decent. I mean, it's probably between them two to finish second. I mean, Argentina was the favorite. They probably still are the favorite, assuming they can beat Poland and Mexico
they can still get out, right? With 2 wins?
Yeah. If they get 2 wins, they're going to win that group still.
And
it's just between Poland and Mexico to see who gets second place.
Gotcha.
Now, if they drop one to Mexico or Poland, Argentina's in big trouble.
Yep.
But that's kind of the same thing with the U.S. men's national team. Now we have very little room for error. So we'll see.
That's insane.
And then today, good slate of games as well. Germany takes on Japan, Spain, Costa Rica, Belgium, and Canada. By the time you're listening to this, Morocco and Croatia has probably already ended. I think Croatia is probably the favorite in that game, but who knows? They're not the Croatia that they were 4 years ago. So I'm just excited. And like I said, I have some complicated feelings about this World Cup, but overall, I'm happy that U.S. soccer, at least for now, is relevant. I'm happy that we have World Cup games to watch, and if anything, like we talked about before, I just want to see some building blocks in this World Cup so we can look forward with excitement toward 2026.
When we are presumably sitting in Arrowhead Stadium watching some games.
Oh man,
that's gonna be great. Don't know what that's gonna cost me, but savings account has been started, my friend.
Hey, it'll be fun. Once in a lifetime.
Oh, you got to do it,
especially in your hometown.
Maybe we'll even travel. Who the hell knows?
Who knows?
But I think that it's fun right now. Group stage is so fun because it's 4 games a day. Oh my god, that's so much meaningful soccer. When the group stage is over, you're going down to 16 teams, and it's like, well, now I'm bored.
The only comparable feeling I have to it, and it's not the same because this is every year compared to every 4 years, is those first couple of days of March Madness.
March Madness, I knew you were going to say that.
All the time, and everybody's got their bracket, and they're like, "Holy shit!"
The respect isn't there though.
Beat somebody, yeah.
FGCU. The respect isn't there though. These World Cup games are getting a full day, a full game to themselves. March Madness, it's like, well, there's other games going on. Let's check TBS. True TV. I forgot basketball goes on there for some reason.
It's the whole time they don't show Impractical Jokers.
Great show. And I think that I don't know, man. It's just fun to have these dedicated times, these games. Yeah,
it's fun. Well, I'm excited. I'm nervous about watching the U.S. men's national team play England Friday night. But
what if we win? What if we win? Take a minute.
Hey, if we win, man, I'm all about it. I'll be excited.
Wild.
Then I will eat all the words that I said about Greg Berhalter. I will eat everything I said about Christian Pulisic.
Delicious.
I'm not counting on it, but we'll see.
I will continue to be the biggest Tim Weah fan. I said, boom, boom, boom. Let me hear Weah.
I'm excited. So
you're supposed to say Weah. You're supposed to.
No, I'm not cool enough to know.
Do you not know that song?
Now I do, but I didn't pick it up when you were singing it.
But you got it now.
Now I get it.
Okay.
So,
that's absolutely a theme song. I don't know why no one's made that a thing. So.
But anyway, I'm excited. Lots more soccer to talk about. Maybe we'll have more sporting roster news, roster rumors next week. But yeah, I think that's about all I got for our good listeners this time. You got anything else that you want to go ahead and cover?
Is that it? Well, goddamn. Thanks for hanging out. If you guys watch us on YouTube, thank you. I've just realized that Jimmy and I have big noses. So
that's true.
You ever think about that? You ever look at yourself and you're like, God damn, that nose just keeps getting bigger.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get a ring light so we look a little better.
Right? Maybe we should get nose rings to make our nose look less big.
I don't think that'll help.
You want to get matching nose rings?
No, I don't.
All right,
I'm sorry. But thank you all so much for listening. We really appreciate it. Make sure you follow us on Twitter and Instagram at NoOtherPod, at Dan Kooser, at JCMac03. Shoot us an email, nootherpod@gmail.com. Make sure you leave us that 5-star rating and review if you have not yet done so on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. But until next time, he's Dan. I'm Jimmy. We'll catch y'all later. See ya.
I said boom, boom, boom. Let me hear you say, way up.
Way up.